Hey guys, Oldhead Mike here. Thanks for coming to my second video. Today I'm going to be reviewing an album that just got put out by a band called Bury the Rod. They're from Austin, Texas. They're a local band to me, semi-local. I'm in Dallas, they're in Austin, whatever. They're actually pretty big for a smaller band. They have 10,000 followers on Facebook. Way to go, guys. I'll preface this with saying I don't listen to a lot of newer deathcore. I love old deathcore, 2008 type stuff, Oceano, old Whitechapel, before Saw Is the Law, As Blood Runs Black, tons of others I could go through. But I'd say these days, most deathcore bands are either beatdown sounding stuff, like Body Snatcher, Spite, or they're more just blast beats nonstop. Bands like Slaughter to Prevail, Shadow of Intent, stuff like that. It's really kind of polarized, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Body Snatcher. I wear a Slaughter to Prevail hoodie every day. But this band I wouldn't really compare to that style of deathcore. They've got their own thing going on, for sure. Now, I'm semi-familiar with their older stuff. Their older stuff was very close to Rings of Saturn style. That's not a bad thing when I say it's very close. Honestly, the world needed more Rings of Saturn style bands that actually know how to play live. Now, I've sat through this album. I've probably listened to it about 8 times this past week. It's really good stuff, honestly. It really reminds me of, I want to say 2009 to 2012 deathcore stuff. Stuff that's real melodic. When bands would teeter, just skirt on the line of slower deathcore or almost just really heavy dark metalcore. Not saying they're metalcore, in case you're in the band. Not saying they're metalcore. Now, the vocals are pretty awesome in this. He uses a lot of mids, which is not really a thing that you see in deathcore. Deathcore is usually mostly either high or really low, or they do some crazy fucking, I don't know, pterodactyl sounding shit. Now, the dude does have some pipes. He goes pretty wild in a couple of these songs. I really like the drums in this. They're really raw, live sounding type drums. They don't sound overproduced. They don't sound programmed. They're real heavy hitting, right in your face. They're real just straight to the point. Just, hey, weird drums. I don't know. The guitar work is great. A lot of what reminds me of the older style deathcore is that the guitar's not tuned like sludge, like a lot of the newer stuff is. That's another reason I say it's like borderline metalcore, but it's just not there. It's deathcore, but I love the mix. The bassist presence is felt throughout the whole album, especially on the track Vile. If you check that out, he's got some nice little slap of the bass solos in there. He goes pretty ham. You can definitely tell this dude has a pretty massive hog in his backyard. They use some instrumental tracks on here, which I'm a huge sucker for instrumental deathcore. Oceano Depths self-titled track. Oh, that song is sexual. Whitechapel of Legions. I love instrumental deathcore interludes. It's so great when bands do that, and it's really not done that often nowadays. So I was really excited when they had instrumental tracks in here. Now I wish the instrumental tracks were a little bit longer, but like I said, that's just because I really love instrumental deathcore. So was it was just a it was a huge tease for me. Their style and sound, like I said, 2009 to 2012 deathcore. If you mix a little bit of 2009's Arsonist Got All the Girls album, Portals, the follow-up, um, Motherland, which is actually my favorite two albums from Arsonist Got All the Girls. I even have some tattoos from Portals album. The vocals, the dude sounds a lot like the vocalist from Arsonist Got All the Girls on those two albums. But Arsonist Got All the Girls is a lot more chaotic and upbeat, real fast, real two-steppy. Uh, they're not really like that. It's more of the tone. Bury the Rod's tone is just close to that sound, the same sound. So if you appreciate those albums, you'll like this. I would say so. Those albums mixed with the heaviness and the dark tone of In the Midst of Lions. It's another band that's right on the line between deathcore and metalcore. Um, Maybe with just a little sprinkling of Bermuda. Another band that I would put them close with is Make Them Suffer, the Never Bloom type stuff. Bury the Rod uses a lot of background synth type stuff. And I think there's even a piano in one of the songs. Um, it gives it this eerie kind of, I like to call it music to get murdered by aliens too. That's what this would be good for. Uh, really good stuff though. Now, if I had to pick some cons, um, I have one major issue with this album, and a lot of people would say it's not an issue, but to me, it's way too short. The album clocks in at about 28 minutes. Now, 3 of those songs are instrumentals, so if you cut out the instrumentals, which don't do that, um, it would put the album, the actual meat of the album, to be about 24 minutes, which is dangerously close to an EP. So it leaves me wanting more, which is a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing. Like, feed the people, because we're hungry. We're so hungry. I want more. I want more of that meat, because the meat I got was good. I just want more of it. I'm a big guy, so now if I had a smaller gripe, there's no two-step. How do you have breakdowns and no two-steps? Like, that's a crime against humanity. This is what happens when you don't have a two-step. That's just unsafe. OSHA! All joking aside, let's get to my final verdict. Despite it being really short, this is a very solid album. Great production, on par with any studio or signed band. I think I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Now, before you get on me, uh, my scale is a little different. Don't think as an 8 is a B. My 8 is more of an A. Say a 9 is an A plus, and a 10 would be Resident Evil style S plus, Super plus. Pretty much have to break everything inside yourself to reach that level. I don't even know if I can. I'd have to sit down and think if anything's ever reached my 10. Uh, Maybe a couple, but if you've got an 8, that's really fucking high. And so great job, guys. Love it. On that note, that's the end of this video. Thanks for coming to my second video. Um, Please like and subscribe. Definitely going to keep putting out content. Um, Hopefully this next week or the week after, I'm going to have my first horror movie review, VHS review. Uh, Hopefully this week. I don't know. If you check the description, I will have a Spotify playlist that I'm creating. It's going to contain my favorite songs off of each album that I've reviewed and will review. That way you can come vibe with me. And with that, you can keep track of who I've reviewed, and get easy access to each band's Spotify from there, from the playlist. And yeah, so on that note, this is Oldhead Mike signing off, reminding you that you're never too old for this shit.